A profound sense of tension radiates from the heart of Giovanni Baglione's divine love conquering earthly love. The painting's atmosphere is charged with emotional conflict, an almost palpable struggle between forces that transcend the visible world. The viewer is drawn immediately into a psychological drama. At the center, an armored angel, his expression intent and unwavering, raises his arms in a poised, decisive gesture. There is a sense of imminent action, a breath held at the very edge of release. Below him, a vulnerable figure lies exposed and defenseless, his body rendered with a softness that contrasts sharply with the rigidity of the angel above. The interplay of light and shadow heightens this emotional tension, isolating the main figures in a pool of illumination, while the surrounding darkness presses in, suggesting that the stakes of this confrontation are as much spiritual as they are physical. Within this charged space, every element of the composition seems to participate in the narrative of struggle and transformation. The armored angel, identified as Eros, is not the playful, mischievous child of classical myth, but a formidable presence. His wings, expansive and luminous, arch behind him with a sense of both grace and power. The armor he wears is not merely protective, it is ceremonial, adorned with gold accents and intricate designs that evoke nobility and divine authority. His muscular torso, partially exposed, bridges the human and the divine, reminding us that the forces at play here are both earthly and transcendent. The tension in his limbs and the focus in his gaze suggest an act of judgment or deliverance, rather than simple aggression. Spotting the details up close, the armor's surface gleams under the raking light, its intricate etching catching the eye. This is not the armor of a soldier, but of a celestial being. Its beauty and craftsmanship reinforcing the idea that divine love is not only powerful, but also noble and elevated. The wings, rendered with delicate strokes, shimmer with iridescent highlights, reinforcing the otherworldly status of Eros. His entire posture is one of resolve, the raised arm and clenched fist indicating a final, decisive moment. Art historian Beverly Louise Brown interprets this as Eros preparing a final thrust, an act that symbolizes the triumph of requited divine love over the more chaotic impulses of earthly desire. Beneath this commanding figure, the painting's emotional register shifts. The young boy on the ground, identified as Cupid, lies provocatively naked, his body twisted in a pose of vulnerability and surrender. His skin is luminous, almost ethereal, standing out starkly against the enveloping darkness. The boy's human features are rendered with a tenderness that invites empathy. His expression is not one of fear, but of resignation, as if he accepts the outcome of this confrontation. The choice to depict Cupid in this way was a bold one for Baglione's time, challenging the moral sensibilities of early 17th century viewers. The nakedness, combined with the religious overtones of the scene, sparked debate among contemporaries as it blurred the boundaries between sacred and profane. Zooming in on Cupid's form, the viewer notices the delicate rendering of his wings, smaller, less imposing than those of Eros, and tinged with a softness that suggests fragility. These wings, though divine, are insufficient to protect him in this moment of crisis. The contrast between the two figures, one armored and resolute, the other exposed and yielding, serves as a visual metaphor for the conflict between higher, spiritual love and the more vulnerable, earthly passions. The light that falls on Cupid's body does not glorify him, but rather exposes his defenselessness, making him a poignant symbol of love's susceptibility to suffering and defeat. In the lower left background, a third presence introduces a note of chaos and disorder. Here, a devilish figure crouches, its fawn-like ears and grotesque features rendered with almost caricatured intensity. This creature, holding a trident and gazing out with an expression of surprise and anguish, is shrouded in shadow, its form only partially revealed by the ambient light. The devil's placement at the margins of the composition reinforces its role as an interloper, a force of temptation or sin that lurks at the edges of human experience. The anguished look on its face suggests recognition of impending defeat, as if it senses that the victory of divine love will come at the expense of its own influence. The devil's trident, a traditional symbol of the underworld, is rendered with careful attention to detail. Its sharp points catch the light, drawing the eye momentarily before returning to the central drama. The crouching posture and fawn-like ears evoke associations with classical representations of satyrs and demons, connecting the painting's Christian allegory to older mythological traditions. This figure's presence serves to heighten the painting's moral and spiritual stakes, positioning the struggle between Eros and Cupid as not merely personal, but cosmic in scope. The emotional intensity and dramatic contrasts of divine love conquering earthly love are heightened by Baglione's mastery of tenebrism, a technique characterized by the use of strong contrasts between light and dark. This approach was heavily influenced by the revolutionary work of Caravaggio, whose innovations in naturalism and lighting transformed the art of the period. Baglione adopts Caravaggio's use of a single, intense light source to illuminate the main figures, plunging the background into deep shadow. This not only focuses the viewer's attention on the central action, but also creates a sense of immediacy and intimacy, as if the scene is unfolding in a darkened chamber, witnessed only by the viewer and the divine. The spatial arrangement of the figures, crowded closely together in the foreground, reflects Caravaggio's influence as well. There is little sense of depth or distance. Instead, the viewer is drawn into the midst of the action, compelled to confront the emotional and psychological stakes of the scene. Baglione's rendering of flesh, fabric, and armor demonstrates a keen attention to naturalistic detail, while his manipulation of light and shadow imbues the composition with a heightened sense of drama. This synthesis of realism and theatricality marks Baglione's engagement with the most advanced artistic currents of his time. At the heart of the painting lies a complex web of symbolism. Scholars identify the central struggle as a battle between Eros, the god of love and desire, and Anteros, the god of requited love. While the identification of the figures is subject to interpretation, the broader theme is clear. This is a meditation on the conflict between earthly, often self-centered love, and the higher, mutual love that aspires to the divine. The armored Eros represents love that is disciplined, noble, and transcendent, while the vulnerable Cupid embodies the passions and frailties of human desire. The presence of the devilish figure reinforces the idea that this struggle is not only internal, but also part of a larger moral and spiritual drama. If The two forces, earthly and divine love, could be reconciled, the painting suggests. The result would be a perfect, harmonious love, capable of elevating the soul. This theme resonated strongly with Renaissance and Baroque audiences, who were deeply engaged with questions of morality, spirituality, and the relationship between the body and the soul. Baglione's work thus operates on multiple levels, as a visual spectacle, a moral allegory, and a philosophical reflection on the nature of love and the human condition. Turning to the painting's history, Divine Love Conquering Earthly Love was created between 1602 and 1603, a period of intense artistic innovation in Rome. Giovanni Baglione was an accomplished painter, known for both his religious and mythological works. He was also a contemporary, and at times, a rival of Caravaggio, whose influence is evident throughout this painting. The precise circumstances of the painting's commission are not fully documented, but it is clear that Baglione sought to engage with the most pressing artistic and intellectual debates of his time. The painting's provenance, prior to its entry into the Galleria Nazionale d'Arte Antica, is not extensively recorded in available sources. Today, it resides in the Palazzo Barberini in Rome, a museum renowned for its collection of Baroque masterpieces. The palazzo itself is a testament to the grandeur and ambition of 17th century Rome, and Baglione's painting occupies a fitting place within its galleries. Here, it can be viewed in the context of other works that grapple with similar themes of love, morality, and spiritual transformation. While the painting's market value is not a matter of public record, its significance lies less in its monetary worth than in its enduring ability to provoke reflection and debate. For modern viewers, Divine Love Conquering Earthly Love offers a window into the complexities of early Baroque art, as well as the enduring power of mythological and religious storytelling. The painting's dramatic composition, technical mastery, and rich symbolism ensure its place as a significant work in the history of Italian art. In reflecting on Baglione's achievement, one is struck by the painting's capacity to evoke both immediate emotional response and sustained intellectual inquiry. It stands as a testament to the artist's skill in weaving together visual beauty, psychological depth, and philosophical meaning. Divine Love Conquering Earthly Love continues to invite viewers into its charged, luminous space, challenging us to consider the nature of love, the struggle between higher and lower impulses, and the possibility of reconciliation between the earthly and the divine. Through its enduring presence in the Palazzo Barberini, the painting remains a vital part of the ongoing dialogue between art, history, and the human spirit.